So how do you solve a table numerically?
Okay, Rachel. So I'm gonna let you know this is my equation. 3x minus 2 equal 2.5. And then as you can see, I put positive 2 on both sides to eliminate one side. So 3x variable going to be equal to 4.5. Then we're going to divide 3 and put x by itself, and then divide 4.5 by 3, and our answer would be 1.5. But by doing it in the value of table, this one says x equal 1.5, so you come down to output on 1, and you look for 2.5, and then you go to x value, and this is your solution to the x value. And that's how I solve this table value. Okay, Rachel, so we're solving for graphically. So this is my equation, and because its equal sign is at y1 and y2, and then I already, as you can see, I already put the y1 and y2. So let's go ahead and solve this, so that way we can put it in our intersection point.
Would be to change the sign here. It would be negative 5 equals negative 5 over here. These cross out. You bring down the x here, and it's equal to negative 5. And then you do the division signs here. It's negative, forgot my sign. And it's a negative, x is always negative 1, x is always equal to 1. So it's going to be that. These are going to cross out.
Yeah, and then x.
Yeah, x is going to be 5. So that's the first answer. Your first one, first section is going to be 5. And the second one, you're going to do the same thing, but with the 4, instead of minusing it, you're going to add it to both sides. So I got it this way. I'll cross it out. Bring down the 2x equals to 4. And you're going to do division 2 on both sides. This one crosses out. Let's see. I bring down the x, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this is the two answers that we've got.
Okay, so now you solve these two equations. So my line would be for y1 and y2. As you can tell, I already drawn, and I found my points by solving the equation, and my intersection x value would be 3 and 2.
And that's where they cross.
And that's where it crossed. So this is my final answer for this equation.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we're going to solve graphically. And remember, to solve graphically, each graph has to pass, in order to be a function, it has to pass the vertical line test, which means anywhere I draw a vertical line on any of these points, that it would only cross one time, which this line does. So we don't have to worry about this. This is a function. But in order to solve this problem, which I took this out of the homework problem, out of homework, it's question 13, A, B, and C. And the question on that, it says to assume the scales are on 1 unit on both axes. Approximate the values from the graph. So if each one is on the one axis, that would mean instead of starting at our original, our 0, 0, or 0, 0 point, we would come down 1 because that's where the line is. So this is our -1. And that's what we would do, how we would solve for h of 0. It would be -1. That is our answer for A. For 4, we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go up, all the way up until it's crossing that axis. And that would be our answer. Would be -3, so that's 1, 2, 3. That is our -3 lines. And to solve for h of -2, because we are starting on the -1 sign, we go over 1, 2, and down half, which would be 1.5. So this would be our answer for C, and that's how you would solve it. Okay, in order to solve a table function, we want to look at the number. This is a function because, again, these numbers do not repeat. So we're going to go, I took these questions right out of homework question 12A and B. So we're going to go ahead and solve for G of 4. Which we're going to do, we're going to come down into the input section, and we're going to come down until we find 4. And then we're going to go over to the G of T, and we're going to find our answer, which is -1. Just a little short here. And that's our answer for question 12A. For question 12B, they're asking us to find the G of 10. And we do the same thing. We come down to the input box, and we come down and find 10. And we go over to the output, and we find that this is the corresponding number with 10 is 9, which gives us the answer of 9 for question B. And that is how you solve a table. Okay, based off of what I showed you on how to solve a table function, how would you go about solving a table function setup like this? Before you start, this is the same thing as the x in f of g or g of x. It's just use different numbers. Same thing, input, output. So how would you solve the question g of 4?
Okay, so based on a problem, G in the parenthesis 4, so I come in to input column on T, and then I go down to 4, and then this would be my solution, which is -1. So G is -1, and so that would be my answer.
Okay, very good. And now how would you solve g of 10?
And G of 10 would be the same thing. I would come to my input column, which is the T, to find my GT, which is 10. So I go down, look for the 10, and then I go to output GT, and this would be my final answer on G of 10.
Very good.